Hello lovely viewers, it's been a very long time since I last uploaded, for many reasons that I won't get into right now. However, you will be seeing a lot more of me now as more videos start popping up. This video was meant to come out so long ago that I've actually seen multiple people online do the same concept. In fact, I've even seen someone produce an unofficial Monster Hunter Pokemon system on Twitter. And although I'm unaware of its specifics, it's got original pixel art, evolutions, proper movesets, and it looks really fun. Back to my long overdue video though. Originally I was going to introduce you to the creatively named Morha, filled with the monsters of the mainline games and Frontier. I contacted people within the community and I even managed to assemble gym leaders, an Elite Four, and an evil team called Team Resurrection. Since the start of the video, these people and their chosen monsters will be appearing. Check them out because they're all super cool individuals. Now to get into the meat of the video, explanations for like everything. For most monsters, I think deciding like Pokemon types is fairly simple. For instance, you know Rathalos is going to have fire, Plesioth is going to have water, Blangonga is going to have ice. But not only are some monsters harder to assign a type to, but there are some types that are hard to assign to a monster. For example, while Elatrin or Garangolm could be up to 4 or 5 moves respectively, I've decided they will each be a single type, and will simply be able to access movesets from the larger type pool than Pokemon in a similar situation would. Also, you'll notice that some types like Grass, Ghost, Fairy and Psychic are few and far between, and honestly, that's just because there are very few monsters that fit into those types. I've tried my best, because otherwise the entire video would be like Dragon type. But you'll have to bear with me. I've had to make some exceptions or strange decisions. Hopefully though you'll be able to see why I've made certain choices, and if you're confused, please feel free to ask me in the comments or on Twitter. That being said, here are a few explanations for questions I'm sure I'll definitely get. Now I know I've recolored a Slagtoth in one of the images and given it a fire type, but that's because I swear in Stories 1 there's a Slagtoth that has red hide. Maybe I'm just going crazy, but I can't find any evidence of it online, so if someone can confirm or deny, that would be really helpful. Oh my gosh, I just dropped... Whoops. It's based on a leech, and since leeches don't have an exoskeleton, it can't be a bug type, as all bug types have one. I am just making that up, though I just thought it wouldn't really fit with it being a wyvern and all. While their base type remains the same, that being Dark and Fairy, they're able to change their types either by using a unique draining move in the former's case, while the latter functions more like Oricorio. I decided since Black Diablos is simply a female Diablos in heat, it will have sexual dimorphism, rather than being a whole new evolution. Acantha doesn't actually produce any fire, so I thought it would be more akin to something like Groudon and be like a ground type instead. Atalcar is the only monster to get the equivalent of Gigantamaxing, as it will be able to transform into its nest mode for brief periods of time. This is one of the larger explanations, but there are quite a few Zenith or Zenith forms in Frontier, as well as unique extreme variations of monsters. I've decided to just lump them all together as like some form of equivalent to Mega Evolution. There's probably a better solution to this, but this is the system that I've come up with now, and I'm just going to go with it. Note that some extreme individuals I've kept as evolutions rather than megas because it was a better fit than having most of the roster being single evolutions. Originally when I started this project I had the Equal Dragon weapon as monster number 361, but since Wild came out and me having spent my sweet time making this video, Zoshia exists and is pretty much a canonical version of the Equal Dragon weapon. Now I know it isn't since both creatures have very different lore and obviously they aren't one-to-one, however I've decided it works and I'm going to stick with it. One other Wilds relevant piece of information is that I've decided to leave the apexes of each region as monotypes. Now some people may disagree with me, but I think that they're explicitly meant to be like the elements taken flesh in Wilds. So any like additional typings I'm probably going to leave for subspecies or variants that are definitely coming in the expansion. Also it's not covered on the images, but instead of Pokerus, the substitute is going to be, well, pretty obviously Frenzy. Finally, I did not include crossover monsters like Behemoth, Leshen, Ancient Leshen, Omega Planetes or Savage Omega because they aren't monsters, so it just didn't really feel right to include them. But if I had to, they'd be Dark, Grass, Grass Dark, Steel, and Steel again but with more moveset options. Awesome, I believe that's everything covered, and I will let the full showcase play out now. Feel free to share your ideas if you agree or disagree in the comments below. I'll see you in the next video. or Moraha. Actually, you know what? I made this name and I don't even know how to pronounce it. Just dropped some medicine there. Sexual dimorphism.